Hello students, in this video we see what is meant by DLL in C#. DLL means Dynamic Link Library. DLL is a library that contains functions and codes that can be used for or that can be used by more than one program at a time. Once we have created a DLL file, we can use it in many applications. The only thing we need to do is to add the reference or import the DLL file. Both DLL and .exe files are executable program modules, but the difference is that we cannot execute DLL files directly. So this is about DLL, means once we have created DLL, that is Dynamic Link Library, that DLL is also executable file, but machine can't execute DLL files directly. It needs a .exe file to execute files by the machine, means by the CPU. There is an .exe file required, and inside .exe there may be use of DLL. We can use DLL inside .exe file. So whenever we write main method inside our C# program, and after compiling that particular program, that program will create .exe file. Means whenever we write main method, that program's .exe file will be created after compilation. But if we create DLL, means if we want to create a DLL, we don't write main method, which is the entry point method of our any C# program. But the use of DLL is only reusable components. Means if we want to create one component and that component we want in multiple applications, then we create that component once and use multiple times in our different applications. So there is no any main method inside DLL. Means when we create DLL, we can't write main method, which is the entry point of our C# program. Only we write classes inside a DLL, class library. And after writing that particular class, we compile that particular class file. Then DLL file will be created after compilation, and not the .exe file, because there is no any main method inside our program. Only classes we need to define inside DLL, and after compilation, .dll file will be created inside debug folder of our respective project. So there are two parts inside DLL. In one part we create a DLL file, means we create a reusable component, and in another part we use that created library or DLL in our any program or application where there is a main method or entry point. Means that exe will be called our DLL file. So we see what is the difference between DLL and exe as well here. In DLL cannot run individually, means machine can't run DLL files directly, whereas .exe machine can run individually, or directly machine can execute the .exe file. Okay, then DLL used as supportive file for other applications. Means the use of DLL is reusable component. Inside our any application, we may link this library. We may use this DLL inside any other application. Then .exe itself an application. This is one itself one entire application. We can run this application, but DLL we can use in another application. So there is reusability. Now inside a DLL does not contain an entry point, means main method or main function, so cannot run individually. Why DLL we can't run individually, or why machine can't run this DLL? Because there is no any entry point or main method, whereas in .exe there is one main method which is our entry point of our execution, so that compiler or machine can execute it directly. Then inside a DLL, a program or application without main creates a DLL after compilation. As I said earlier, after compilation of any application or program where we can't write or where we have not write main method, that programs or application, when we compile that particular .dll file or respective .dll file will be created for that program. But in one program or application where we write main method, then that programs or applications .exe file will be created after compilation. Now we will see in next video how we can implement this DLL by using Visual Studio 2010. So inside Visual Studio, in first part we create one DLL, that is we create one library, and in second application or program we use that created library. DLL is same as header files which we have already seen inside C and C++. Whenever we require some library functions, we include that particular, we have included that particular header files inside C or C++. Like same way, inside C#, we import some libraries, some dynamic link libraries, and use the classes which have written inside those libraries. So there is reusability, means we need not be write same number of classes or same classes number of times in different applications. We write those classes only once and create one library file, and whenever we want that classes, we import that respective library inside our application. So this is the use of DLL inside C#. So we see its implementation in next video. Thank you.